Hey everyone, this is Derrick Broze with the Conscious Resistance Network, and I have a special video for you today about a new project that I really want to share with you. Let's start by just taking an assessment of what we're going through right now on the planet. People all over the world are concerned, increasingly concerned. I know I've been hearing it as I was traveling and touring the United States and Mexico. Probably the number one concern people are sharing is food shortages, food prices, how to grow good, healthy, organic, clean food into the future, concerns about Bill Gates buying up farmland, all these kinds of topics that relate back to our food and the importance of having local community supported agriculture and local community supported farmers markets, gardens, backyard gardens, front yard gardens. I mean, I've been a big proponent of these topics for years. And I think one of the reasons so many of you guys are concerned about this is because the food is increasingly being poisoned. The food is increasingly losing nutrition. For those of you who follow my work with the Pyramid of Power, you can go to thepyramidofpower.net. And in our chapter 8 of this 16-part documentary series, we did a episode on food as a weapon, talking about GMOs, talking about the way that historically in wars, food has been always used as a weapon, where one party would conquer another and would come and burn their crops, right? And how now we're facing this sort of modern version of that with things like the Rockefellers Reset the Table initiative, and again, people buying up farmland and trying to control our access to food. Well, our guest today is Henna Maria. And for those of you who might remember, she was a guest recently on the Activation podcast, number 15. We talked all about spirituality, technocracy, and so many other really great projects that she's involved with. And today we're going to be hearing about the Save Our Food initiative. So please welcome. And how are you doing, Henna? How are you doing today?
Hi, Derek. Thanks so much for doing this and including me in the show. I am absolutely excited. Today is the action day for this initiative, and it's all been like super fast. This idea came 10 days ago, and now we are here with worldwide support. So I honestly couldn't be more excited and grateful.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead. Let's start by telling everybody what's the goal. I sort of just set the stage here. Many people in both our audiences and people who are going to come across this are aware of the problems, right, that are associated with the food supply and the concerns around there. But you're actually, which is great, choosing to come together, get all these different groups and organizations together to focus on solutions, on what we can actually do about it. So tell everybody a little bit about the initiative.
Absolutely. Yes. So first and foremost, the idea of Save Our Food is to show people that there is another way and that the pending food crisis does not have to happen if we all collaborate. So we all have been, like you said in the beginning, in the intro, we've been hearing about, national agriculture being under attack, local farming pretty much being made redundant. In Finland, where I'm from, this year, it's averaged 3 farms a day that have been forced to quit, because the price of fertilizers with this manufactured Ukraine-Russia war has been so influential on the market in Finland that pretty much like agriculture has been made impossible. And the same is happening in Holland. And so we're seeing kind of the doomsday messaging. And I believe that even the farmers themselves may not be aware that there is another way, and that we can actually begin to bypass these inhumane government regulations and mandates and this fabricated, high price of production of food, and start dealing directly with the local farmers. So the whole idea of this initiative is to show people that, look, the food crisis doesn't have to happen if we come together. And the first step of this initiative is to really just blast a positive message out there, because fear is so very paralyzing. Even for us in the freedom movement, we've had this kind of doomsday prepper movement, which I don't like as a concept, because that's how our grandparents used to live. Like, that was just the way you would live as a human being. But now in the, normal kind of modern society, that's seen as some kind of doomsday thing, like you are preparing for the apocalypse or whatever. So that's one thing, learning how to do effective food storage. But how about going into the root of the whole problem, and saying to the farmers themselves, look, we can help you transform your monocrop farm into a regenerative, permaculture project where you can actually produce food for your entire community. You can grow a variety of things. So it's an initiative for the farmers to become empowered, to see they don't need to quit. And it's an initiative for us to say we don't need to be helpless consumers of these gigantic multinational supermarkets where 90% of the price that we pay for food is actually going to this absolutely insane food supply chain, but we can cut that price and go directly to the farmers and collaborate. And we can secure access to local, affordable, natural food together.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, the reason I love this and that I'm happy to be involved in this, as well as the Greater Reset and the Freedom Cell Network, and any project that I'm involved in would be happy to be associated with this, is because, for one, it's proactive, and that's what we're always about, is solutions. How can we actually give people tools for things they can do in their own lives? But also because it really is just so important. As I was mentioning in the beginning, I'm hearing this from people from all over the world. We heard it at our event, the Greater Reset, which had 400 plus people coming from all over the world. And everybody is concerned about food, and people are watching as the website talks about, the Dutch farmer protests and protests taking place elsewhere related to the cost of food, the cost of gas and things like that. So this is a good time to give people concrete steps. So I have it pulled up right now for those who are watching on screen. It says, join our universal action for food sovereignty. And you list a few different things that people can do. And as you said, today is really the kickoff of this. So the first step is just spread the word. And the website is saveourfood.net. But go ahead and tell everybody you have a few other items or anything else that they can do to help this cause grow.
Yeah, so the kickoff today, the action day, the idea is just to flood the internet with the counter message to fear of food scarcity and fear of agricultural collapse, and share pictures and videos of yourself with local farmers, I'm here at the local farmers market with beautiful Malagueñan produce behind me, or pictures of your own, backyard huerto, your little vegetable garden, your fruit orchard, and the hashtag Save Our Food. And the idea of this is really to show how many people are already growing their own food. And so one of the things I love about this collaboration, which everyone has just jumped on and said yes to, because we're not trying to monetize it in any way. We're not trying to make it anyone's thing. It's for everyone, right? So everyone's happy to contribute. Everyone's happy to share. And what we're discovering is there are already solutions and so many projects going on that know exactly what has been coming for years and have already been putting, decades of research into securing this kind of, projects and blueprints, what we need for this time. So you guys have the Freedom Cell Network, which is absolutely phenomenal. And I'd love to talk to you, Derrick, more about how we could collaborate and bring your blueprint as something that people can easily access, through the site. But also you have, companies like Lemongraft, which is an American company that is creating like a platform to host a marketplace online where buyers can find local growers, and then there's a third role is the hosts, so who will take care of the purchase and the selling of the produce. So you can bypass this crazy supply chain and go directly through this platform to find your local farmer. And then we have companies like Food Forest Abundance, who have expert designers on creating permaculture farms and food forests for you if you hire them. So all these things already exist. But how hard is it for us to find them when we know that internet searches are highly controlled? And probably these kind of sites are blacklisted because they are so fundamentally linked to sovereignty and self-sustainability and freedom. So our idea is to bring everything together. So at this point, we are just inviting everyone to take part and share the resources, the skills, the platforms, the companies, the organizations that you believe could help us create a kind of seed bank of information in this site where people could find what they need in their local community. And maybe you don't have such infrastructure in place in your country yet. Maybe you can become inspired and say, hey, I'm going to create something like this. So this is like a potential for immense growth in local economy and new jobs and new companies and new projects. If you're just open to this and you're observing what is needed right now, and then just take the idea and fly with it.
Absolutely. And I think you're right that this is, in many ways, it can be a seed for projects going on in other places. I always like to remind people that if you hear about a project and you're like, well, that sounds cool, but that's not happening in my community, maybe you're the one that's going to start it there in your community. And it's so important for us to come around this. You also have listed here things like boycotting multinational supermarkets, buying directly from farmers. You're there at the farmers market, creating local trading schemes and growing your own food, of course. And I do want to mention, for those who are not aware, the next version of the Freedom Cells website is about to launch on August 1st. And we're adding a new feature, including a marketplace where people will be able to list ads for things that they're selling, like local produce. And that's going to be a feature now that we can have there. In addition to finding people in your local community, you can actually list services like that. So we want to be a part of this initiative. And let's talk a little bit about, you brought together just all kinds of really great groups here. You want to mention anybody specifically? You've mentioned Food Forest Abundance, I know, but you really quickly put together a great group of people who are supporting these causes.
Yeah, so these are freedom-oriented, health-oriented, natural medicine-oriented, self-sustainable, local farming-oriented projects, companies, people. And I would just, if I were you, I would just like go through and see what you find. But we have everything from, aeroponic, like Ecotopia is a company that's selling these towers where you can grow food inside your own apartment in a city. And you can yield up to 4 times more crop than if you grow it on Earth, if you use solar energy. So, I mean, there's just so many amazing entrepreneurs, and there's platforms that are censorship free, that are happy to host this kind of entrepreneurship and this kind of collaboration. So this is just the beginning. Like this idea came 10 days ago. And, this is like just the first step. And I think the next step of the initiative is going to be another action. So I want to keep it very action oriented. And I would love to invite people to lead by example and then record that. What are they doing? And show the people, like, this is my solution for the day. I'm transforming my lawn to a vegetable patch or whatever it is, So, I'm
Awesome.
I'm just psyched with all of this, and I'm about to go to an eco village after our chat, and we're going to do some action there today. So
Wonderful.
It's good times.
Well, let's go ahead as we wrap up. Again, the website is saveourfood.net. First thing, use the hashtag #SaveOurFood. Tweet it out, whatever you use, whatever platforms, use that hashtag, direct people to the website. As Henna was saying, maybe document something you can do today or in the coming days and weeks in the local community related to community farming, backyard gardening, whatever it may be, hosting a workshop, attending a workshop, sharing things online. This is a chance, I think, to get active. So many people out there are hearing all the doomsday news. And as you said, kind of doomsday prepping, or we're preparing for things that are coming, but maybe out of fear instead of coming from a place of proactivity. For me, I enjoy permaculture and growing food and getting my hands in the dirt, not only because it's a solution to many of the problems that I see, but because it is a more rewarding way of life. So if we just switch our focus and start thinking like, yes, we do need to save the food, and we need to work with the food and work with the planet, and instead of maybe always coming from that place of fear and reaction, then I think that we can do something beautiful. So I appreciate you starting this initiative. Any last words?
Well, thank you, Derrick. Last words is just know your power, know that we can just ignore these energetic hooks that are being thrown our way to distract us from the one solution, which is community and self-sustainability. Like whatever hurdle, whatever crap they're throwing our way, the solution is always the same. So I think this is the time just to get active and really give our all to the solutions. And perhaps, we've done enough of the protesting at this point. And maybe that is, for me, anyway, taken a lot of our vital sources and a lot of our vital energy into just resisting. So this is a proactive and beautiful way to resist. And everyone benefits, the earth, the animals, us humans, our health. So it's a win-win-win.
Absolutely, guys. Check it out at saveourfood.net. Thank you so much, Henna. Until next time, remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, and you are free. Peace. Since 2012, the Conscious Resistance Network has been an independent media organization focused on empowering individuals through education, philosophy, health, and community organizing. We work to create a world where corporate and state power do not rule over the lives of free human beings. Our motto is leading by example and helping others in their pursuit of freedom. Visit theconsciousresistance.com to find our articles, documentaries, interviews, podcasts, books, and more. Remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, and you are free.